Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my October favorites for you guys, and I don't know about you, but today is Halloween and I had a blast. My son had a absolute blast trick-or-treating, and he let me do his makeup because he was a witch, and it was awesome, and it was just great. So I hope you guys had a wonderful Halloween, whether you celebrated it today on the actual day, which is going to be yesterday, or if you celebrated it over the weekend. But getting into all of my stuff, the first thing I want to talk about is a foundation. And I honestly didn't think I was going to try any new foundations for a while, because I have a bunch that I really like, and I wasn't really feeling the need for a new one. But then, of course, Chanel had to go and talk about how she found one she fell in love with and blah, 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 and it matched her perfectly, which is awesome. And so, of course, I had to go buy it. And it's the Becca Ultimate Coverage Complexion Cream, and I got mine in cashmere. I really like it. I have been wearing it every day. I'm wearing it today. I like that it's pretty full coverage. I know when Chanel told me about it, she was like, oh my gosh, I haven't worn a full coverage foundation in so long. It feels so crazy. And for me, it's medium to full coverage, and like, I have more to cover on my skin than she does. So if you're someone who has, you know, scarring or spots or whatever, this is medium to full coverage, and you can build it up really nicely. It layers really nicely. It lasts throughout the day really nicely. It doesn't break up on me. It's been really awesome. Like I said, I've had it for about 3 weeks, and I've worn it every day-ish. And I've just been really liking it. They do have a pretty decent shade range, so that's definitely a plus. Like I said, for it to match Chanel perfectly is like a huge feat, so I will totally give Becca that they had a pretty good shade range. And I kind of did that thing that I do where I kind of just guessed what shade I might be online and ordered it, and it came out pretty well. It's a little bit light, but going into winter, I will definitely match this foundation pretty soon. It's so minuscule, the amount that it's off for me, that I can easily correct it with bronzer and powder, so I'm not worried about it. In the summer, if I want to purchase this again, I'll probably get the next shade darker, but been really liking it. The next thing I want to talk about is something I purchased at the same time I purchased the Becca foundation, and that is the Kat Von D Metal Crush eyeshadow in Thunderstruck. You guys, I had seen Samantha Ravndal. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that right, and I'm pretty sure it's Ravndal. I really hope so. Sorry, Sam. Not that you're ever gonna watch this, but sorry if I mispronounced your name. Talk about how amazing this was as a highlighter and how beautiful it was. And I haven't used it for a highlighter yet, but I have used it on the inner corner. I have used it all over the lid, and it is stunning. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see that on my hand. Can you see that? It has a shift to it that's like pinky, whitey, peachy sort of. It's just stunningly beautiful, and I think for my skin tone, especially that peach shift, really makes it work as a highlighter. Like I said, I haven't tried it on the cheekbones, but even when I use it on the inner corner of my eye, it's such like a stunning inner corner highlight, because it's like as you turn is when you see it, and sometimes it's not as bright and sometimes it's even brighter, like depending on how your face is turned. And I think that kind of effect is beautiful on the cheek for a highlight as well. I just haven't gotten to it yet. I've been using it like every day almost on my eyes, just not on my face, partly because of the next thing I'm going to talk about. But I got obviously I have the Metal Matte palette, and that came with a lot of the Metal Crush formulation shadows, but it didn't have this one, like a good highlight. So I picked this up just because, again, I had been hearing about it, and I wanted that like inner corner highlight, and it's beautiful and perfect. And while I think it's a little outrageous for those kinds of shadows to be $21 each, worth it. So next thing I want to talk about is what I have been highlighting my face with, and that is the Tarte highlighter in Exposed. and it's so beautiful. I'm wearing it today on my cheekbones. It's stunning. It's a really great highlight without being glittery, without being too in your face with texture or anything like that. It's just beautiful. It's a much more peachy golden tone than the Metal Crush shadow. I hope you can see that. But it's just beautiful. I love it. I've been wearing it every day. I actually have another highlight that I want to try out and I just like haven't, because I have been wearing this every day and I can't stop. Can't be stopped. So yeah, it's just beautiful. I don't know why I waited so long to get this, because like the hype was super real when this first came out, and I just kept thinking like, oh, I don't want to spend the money. Oh, I don't want to spend the money on that. Oh, I don't want to spend the money on that. And now I'm like, why didn't I spend the money on that? It's so beautiful. And this, I think, would have been even more beautiful during the summer when I had a little bit more color. But even now, I love it. I think it's so beautiful. So there's that. The next thing I want to talk about is a little bit weird, because I don't know if I've ever put a product that I got in one of my monthly subscription boxes in a favorites before. And I don't think that's really because like I don't use the things, but some of the things are just like, I don't know, kind of like obscure brands or something. And I don't know, I just never have. But this I couldn't not do. And it's still a sort of obscure brand. It is the Studio Makeup On The Go eyeshadow palette. I got this in my September BoxyCharm, and that was the month that I didn't film because I got it so late. But it is just a little basic neutral palette, you know, nothing super special in terms of colors, but it's something that I just pull like almost every day because it's easy and I know that I can get a good look with this. You know, they're pigmented and beautiful colors, and I know I'm not super huge into finger swatches, but the colors are really nicely pigmented. They last really nicely on my lids. They don't fade or, you know, wear funny, or they're not patchy. They've been really nice, and it's been just one of those really easy go-to palettes that I know that if I'm running late in the morning, which is like an everyday thing for me, I can grab this and just like use 1, 2, 3 of these shadows and be done out the door. It's quick and awesome, and I've been really liking it. The next thing I want to talk about is the blush I'm wearing, and I got this, I don't even know how long ago, I think like a year ago, and I've just never opened it or used it. And it is the NARS blush in Goulue, but it's a really nice plum colored blush. I'm wearing it today very lightly on my cheeks because it is a very, very pigmented deep blush. I think this would look stunning on deeper skin tones, especially in the fall and winter, because it's just that kind of perfect tone for the fall and winter. It's super pigmented, and I need to be really careful with it, but I love that color. Like, I gravitate towards these color blushes in the fall, and this was one of those like VIB Rouge exclusive things. I don't think I got it when I got my VIB Rouge status again. I don't know, maybe I did. It's really been that long and I can't remember. I've just been reaching for it. I pulled it out of my drawer and I put it in this little acrylic case thing that I have that I'm trying to put makeup I want to use more in, and I've been reaching for it every day and just really liking it. And it's one of those that I can put on like just a really sheer wash with a duo fiber brush and get a really nice color, or I can use like an angled brush and, you know, get a deeper color, and it's just really nice. It's been really fall appropriate and all that, but I just have been really liking it. The next thing I want to talk about may not be a surprise, but I don't know. It's the Kat Von D contour powder in Sombre or Sombre, I don't know. I'm gonna call it Sombre. And it's the individual pan. I knew I was gonna love this when I saw it, and I was so excited when I saw that she had the singles. But like, I just keep this like right in front of me. It never goes in a drawer. It just sits up front because I use it every day. And whether or not I bronze and then contour, or just kind of, you know, take a fluffy brush and use this like every day. It's just the best tone for my skin, and I love it. I love it. I don't know, it's so great. I can't say anything bad about it. It's super buttery. It's super blendable. It's again, an amazing tone. It's beautiful and I love it. And I could not be more happy that she finally put these in removable pans so that I can just get the ones that I want. So yeah, super excited about that. The next thing I want to talk about is a little bit weird, and only because I haven't gotten to talk about it yet. I will be doing a video specifically on this. This video is not sponsored, but this is the ScentBird October fragrance, which is Gold by Commodity. I've never heard of Commodity, but I'm not a big like perfume connoisseur. I stick with certain perfumes that I like, and I'll try out one or two here and there if I'm trying to find another scent I want to wear every day. I was contacted by ScentBird and they did send me a perfume, and they sent me this one as well since it was the pink one for Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October. And I ended up liking this one better than the scent I picked myself. The notes are bergamot, juniper, vanilla, molten amber, and Nubian musk. But it's a really sexy smell to me. And I'm really terrible at talking about scents. I don't know, I can't talk about them, but it's woodsy and just deep and almost masculine in a way, which are scents that I like. So I have been wearing this a lot. I like throwing this in my purse. I'm not going to talk a ton about this because, like I said, I'm going to make a separate video on it. I've worn it every day basically, so I wanted to include it in my favorites because I've been really liking it. One last thing I almost forgot to talk about is my MAC Paint Pot and Painterly, and if you guys have seen my How to Keep Your Foundation from Breaking Up video, which I will link, you will know why I love this. It's amazing. It has changed my makeup wearing life, and I don't think I've had a single product yet that has like changed my makeup life as much as this one had. Like, I never knew that I could find something that so wonderfully fixed a problem I was having that I never thought I thought it was just one of those things that I was always gonna have a problem with, and this fixed it. And I had like become resigned to my fate of always having foundation breakup on my nose, and then I found this tip and it blew my mind. So I just wanted to mention that quickly before I move on. Okay, and the last thing I want to talk about is the book I read this month, and that is American Gods by Neil Gaiman. And looking at this book, like, yeah, it's a bigger book, but like I didn't realize it's 530 pages, and this took me so much longer to get through than I expected it to, and it almost dragged, but then it didn't, because I really enjoyed reading every page of it, but it was like I would look at the page number I was on and it would be like 300, and then I would be like, I still have 200 and something pages to go, oh my god, you know. And it was so long that, you know, at the end they reference a lot of things that they talked about in the beginning that like weren't around for that whole time, and you almost had to stop reading to be like, wait, what are they talking about? And some of the stuff, like, I had a really hard time recalling because it was at the beginning of the book. It was never mentioned again until the end of the book, and that was 400 pages ago, you know? So it was a really great book without giving too much away. It's basically about a man named Shadow who gets released from prison, and then he meets a man who wants to employ him, and he doesn't really want to do it, but then he does. The man turns out to be a god. And basically the story is about old gods and the new American gods, which are like the media and television and highways and the internet and things like that. And it's a really great like play on that kind of thing. And I'm an atheist, I don't believe in any gods, so like I don't have any like affinity to any part of this book, except for, even though it's a story about like gods and not wanting to be forgotten and all that, it does really have a great human play on it, and it plays, I think, a lot on the idea that a lot of people have of wanting to be remembered. And I have this conversation with people a lot where when they're going through some sort of existential crisis, they start to think about like when they die, nobody remembering them, and you know, that they didn't do enough in their life to be remembered or to go down in history. They weren't famous or whatever, and how that can be a really scary thing for people, which is something that I never really understood. But it's just never something that I've, you know, been like, oh, I need to make my mark on the world, or what was it all for, or, you know. So yeah, I don't know. I just found it to be a really great read. I found it to be something that, even though it was long and it took me longer than I expected to get through, it was still a quick read. It was an easy read. But it was one that I went into, I think, not paying as close enough attention as I needed to. And then I was like, oh crap, you know? So if you are gonna pick this up, make sure that you are paying attention, because even though it's an easy read, it's not one that you can kind of just like skim through, put down for a couple weeks, pick back up, read, and then expect to remember everything when it's relevant. I still would recommend it. I recommended it to my little brother this past weekend. So it's definitely a book that I think if you are interested, if you like Neil Gaiman's work, which I do, I think that it's a good thing to read, especially because they are making a TV show out of it. I'm not sure, I can't remember what channel picked it up, if it was HBO or something else, a network channel, but I know that that's going to be coming out soonish. And so if you are one of those people like me who is a book purist and likes to read the books before you watch the movie or watch the TV show or whatever, so that you can then be disappointed by said movie or TV show, definitely pick this up and read it. Again, this isn't sponsored or anything. Neil Gaiman doesn't know who I am. But yeah, there's that. And that's the last thing I want to talk about. I don't think I had any unfavorites this month. And that's always a good thing, I think, in my book. So I'm pretty excited about that. I did want to say thank you again to everybody who entered my giveaway, and for everybody who has been so kind in the comments. When I announced the winner, there was a couple people who congratulated her and stuff. And I love that. Like, I love that. I guess I'm not a big enough YouTuber yet to get those comments that were like, oh, I wanted to win, why couldn't I win? I never win anything, you know? Because it's hard, even with so few followers. I had one prize, you know? Like, and I know that one person's gonna win, but then right now I think there's like 1,825 of you, so 1,824 of you aren't gonna win, you know? So it always makes me feel a little bit guilty, but there's only so much I can do. But yeah, so just thank you guys again for making this year incredible and helping me to learn as much as I have and grow as much as I have. And yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna stop rambling. But I hope you guys had a great month. I hope you're having a great day wherever you're at. Please subscribe if you haven't already. If you have, thank you so much and I really appreciate it. And I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone.